Hello, my name is Brian Vandegrift, and I'm here to compare the costs associated with doing in-house tape backup to protect your data as opposed to using an online backup service such as Venyu's. For this comparison, we're going to assume an organization with 9 servers, running Exchange, a couple of SQL servers, Active Directory in place, a couple of file servers, and additionally some application servers. We're going to assume the organization has 2 terabytes of data that needs to be protected. For the tape aspect of this, we're going to assume 20 tapes in rotation. So a backup every night, 5 days a week for 4 weeks. Once a month, we're going to pull a tape out for archive purposes. We're going to assume that 1 restore will need to be done every 2 months. And then from an operational perspective, we're going to assume an IT professional is going to need to spend about a half an hour each day actually interacting with the tapes. So rotating the tapes, checking backup logs, and then interacting with the courier service to take tapes off-site. We're also going to assume that every time one of these restores need to happen, that it's roughly going to take around 2 hours of that IT professional's time to perform that restore. When we look at the costs associated with protecting that data and doing it in that manner, there's really 4 areas of costs that need to be considered. Hardware and the tapes involved, the software costs involved, operational of the IT professionals and their impact to the organization of their time, and then the courier service to take those tapes off-site. Okay, so when we talk about the hardware, we're talking about purchasing a backup server plus the tape drive. Okay, just from a capital perspective, that's going to cost roughly $11,400. Now that amount is going to include 3 years worth of maintenance on those devices. So not just the cost to buy them, but also the cost for the maintenance on them for 3 years. So we're looking at this over a 36-month period when we break it down. That's going to turn into roughly $434 a month, including those tapes. And again, we're going to refresh those tapes once a year. So even the tapes that are pulled out each month, those will be set aside, but the tapes left will need to be refreshed each year by manufacturer specifications. Okay, from the software perspective, we're going to need backup software from a leading provider. You're going to need agents for all 9 servers. And then you're also going to need application plugins for the applications like SQL, Exchange, and those application servers. That's going to cost roughly $12,500, which is going to equate to roughly $347 a month. Okay, there's the operational costs that are going to impact the organization with the IT professional taking half an hour each day and then that 2 hours every other month, and that's going to equate to roughly $430 a month if you assume a $30 per hour impact of that IT professional's time. And then there's that courier service to daily move those tapes off-site, as well as every other month restore a tape for the restores to bring those tapes back. That's going to be around a $650 investment for that organization. So when you add up these monthly costs, that is going to come out to roughly $1,861 per month. So let's compare that to Venyu's online backup service. So we'd be protecting the same amount of data, 2 terabytes, which is equivalent to 200 gigabytes. The online backup service, in its process, actually compresses that data. We're going to assume a 65% compression ratio on that native data, which would net us 1,285 gigabytes. Venyu's cost for that is $1.45 per gigabyte per month, which would give you an $1,860 per month cost for using the online backup service. So you can see those costs are essentially equal. But with the online backup service, there's some additional benefits. And those are very quick restores. So there's no tapes to have to recall from a courier service and hope they bring it back quickly. Instantaneously, you can go into the software, pick the data you want to restore, and have that pulled back over the wire. You also have the benefit of this being automatic. There is no half hour each day of having to deal with tapes and courier services and checking logs. The interaction is as simple as checking your email inbox to see which backup jobs were successful and if there's any backup jobs that you need to look into a little bit further. There's no hardware and software complexity here. So all these devices are something else that are in your organization using electricity, creating heat, and needing to be dealt with. These maintenance contracts that need to be dealt with monthly, none of that headache. No hardware to buy, no software to buy. You simply install it, set your backups, and they're automatic. There's also a higher level of security in an online backup service because you can encrypt the backups as they happen. The communication between the servers that need to be backed up and the data centers where the data will be housed is always encrypted, but you can further encrypt the data that's coming across those wires as an additional security precaution. There's also the benefit of, in a tape backup scenario, when you're sending those tapes off-site, they go to one off-site location. When you're backing up with Venyu, that data is actually replicated to multiple secure data centers in our network. There's also the benefit of having highly qualified, very experienced technology support that stands behind this service 24/7. So if there's ever any issue with the backups or needing help with restorations, you can call 24/7 and get help from highly qualified individuals that work for us. So as you can see, the costs are essentially the same, but again, with the online backup service, there's a lot of additional benefits that need to be considered above and beyond just what the tape backup solution can provide. Thank you.